Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Factorio Heavily Modded. Just turning the sounds on there for you. But yeah, we're back in it again. I apologize for missing so many uploads. I've had a lot going on. This week is no exception, but I managed to find a little bit of time to put this together for you. So here we go. So what was that? I was just doing something in Hellmod. Anyway, planning out some more production, I'm sure. Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I recorded this like a week ago, so I'm not exactly sure what I do in this episode, but I'm gonna watch it along with you and try and explain the best I can. Um, I don't really have the time to watch it over on my own and then go back through it with you. So I'm just going to do it this way. But we're setting up smelting for something. It's not stone bricks because obviously we have stone bricks plenty already. It might be copper or it could be... it's definitely not lead production because I didn't do that. Sorry, I'm working through this with you too. Anyway, I guess what I'm doing is we'll be working on because I had wanted to do research pack production, not research pack, but you know the tech card production. That's what I wanted to do. And I think I was going to do a separate smelting grid for each of the things. Not only that, but also for turrets and guns. But in this episode, I don't remember that happening because we got just constantly bombarded by biters and spitters. So yeah, there's a lot of fighting in this episode. Due to that, they just kept expanding nearby here, and they're still expanding nearby in multiple areas. They also start attacking us at our coal area up at the top, the north. So, yeah, that's what happened here. But yeah, we've got this big windmill we're going to place down. Just readjust a little bit. But yeah, we're working on ammunition production as well as, I think I was just looking at the lead furnace numbers, see what we needed to make ammunition and the whatchamacallit, right? So that's what I'm doing is I'm trying to create gun turrets and ammo production in our main factory, and it's just not going to happen this episode. So yeah, but anyway, we're going to get on through it here. So the numbers were just insanely ridiculous for how much I was going to need. But we realize, I don't realize it until at the end of the video, but they're expanding closer and closer. And you can see how big the numbers got on those furnace numbers there compared to in the past. It's not quite as big as it could be, but it's still a lot. Sorry, it's still a lot. My chair's moving a little bit here. But I decide we're actually going to try, instead of researching what we were going to research, we're going to try and research architecture. Now, this is from a mod called Factorissimo 2, and it's actually a not melon fork is what it's called. So if you're looking for that mod specifically, that's what you can find it in the mod manager in Factorio. It allows you to place down factory buildings, and what those factory buildings allow you to do is build those buildings build inside those buildings, and you can continuously, you can place more and more factory buildings on top of each other, right? So I'm just looking for a place to place the windmill there. I decided to place it down here and look to see, okay, what do I need to make another turbine here? But anyway, so you can continuously place more and more buildings inside of each other until you finally get down to, you can just build your factory inside these buildings. And there's actually people that have played Factorio with just that mod as an added mod and have beat the game within the factory buildings, never leaving the buildings, which I think is kind of pretty interesting there that you can even do that. But yeah, you can. So that's pretty cool. I think that's actually a challenge that comes with the mod if you download the mod on its own. So yeah, that's definitely something to check out. Um, but we're going to get in here. We're making another big windmill, so we can have two big windmills, and that'll definitely increase our power production and help us reduce some of our pollution. So that's definitely what we're looking out for, is to reduce that pollution as much as possible, because it's just going to consistently be, one thing after another, more biters, more biters, more biters. So that's what we're trying to do, is to reduce our pollution output by increasing power that is not polluting the atmosphere and everything else as well. Um, but yeah, so we're just going through here, putting down two of those. We're going to delete the wood production because we're not making science at the moment. That is on the list though, so just get rid of that. Get rid of the phenol production because we don't need that at the moment. And delete this belt that the coal's on here to get rid of it. Still going to leave the belt there for the burner generators because they will still provide us some power. But hopefully most of our power will be produced by solar panels and the wind turbines at the moment. The big wind turbines do create, or windmills do create, a good bit of power. And if we look at our power production, you'll see that. I think I do look at it at some point. But the burner generators stay running anyway. I'm not entirely sure why. I guess we're using just over what the turbines or the windmills use, I guess. I'm not really sure. Or maybe the way the Factorio power works is that it just uses every available option in small amounts. But I do go ahead and decide, okay, we're in a good situation, so I decide let's go and delete the ship assemblers because they're not really helpful to us. I do leave the little power generator for now. We'll eventually get rid of that too, but in the research lab I left it too, but we don't really need it either. So there was our power production. You can see we're making plenty of power. So now I'm looking at more recipes to add to it, and I decide, okay, well, what about making a wind turbine factory? That might be pretty good. So then I look at, okay, so what do we have to do to do that? Then we have to make those, and we have to make the gears, and we have to make the coal, wires, the beams, and the plates. So I kind of lowered the amount that we actually needed, and it seemed like a decent number at 0.1 a second. So that'll be 10 every, what is that? 10 every 10 seconds? No, that's not right. 10 every 100 seconds? That sounds about right. Of the big turbines. And then, of course, if we have that much, that's plenty for power generation for a while. I am kind of curious, personally, now that I'm thinking about it, is there a way, can we do power generation through wind turbines in our Factorissimo buildings? Because if we can, that'd be great. That'd save us a lot of trouble, because those big turbines take up a ton of space. And it'd be cool if we can do it in a building, maybe make multiple layers of buildings to allow for that. That'd be kind of interesting. We'll have to look into that. Right now I'm setting up the production of tech cards in Hellmod here to figure out, okay, how many furnaces, how many assemblers, what all do I need for this. This mod, I will say, this mod pack is huge. So just in my free time, I have done a quick world, a god mode, just free reign, spawn in. Basically, I I gave myself the ability to, with the creative mod, to spawn in fluids and items and such, but I used it only to allow for like water and stuff, just to make it the production higher on some of the simple fluids. Um, Other than that, what I did was, and of course to create free mining drills and free, whatever, just to create the buildings. But then I just went through it and one step at a time and built every factory that needed to be built in order to launch a rocket, just the first rocket, not space exploration, but just the first rocket into space with a satellite so that we can go to the next planet. And in order to do that, it took me like 13 hours. So, with being able to spawn in like free machines, basically, and you can see I'm pressing the wrong button. But anyway, with free machines, being able to spawn in any machine I want, any placeable item I want, and it's still taking me 13 hours, it's going to take us a long time to get through it when we have to deal with biters and we have to deal with all the rest of this stuff, because I also played it without biters, because there's a kill everything button in the creative mod. But anyway, yeah. And something else that happens as we get further along in this game that I did not realize in this mod pack is that different styles of enemy waves will start happening. So as I got further along, one of the types of waves that started happening was guys with machine guns would come after me. And then another wave that would happen is, huge, gigantic bosses. It's like boss waves start. And I did not realize that was going to happen, but it's pretty cool. But at the same time, we are nowhere near at this stage ready to handle that. So I really hope they don't start happening until I'm sure there's probably a certain technology that's required to be researched before it happens. But I really hope that's the case because we are definitely not ready for anything like that. But it's entirely possible that the evolution is the thing that affects that. And of course, I played it with the same evolution settings. So within the next few videos, we will be reaching that 13-hour mark, and the evolution will be matched theoretically. So I'm really hoping that those things don't start happening because we're not ready for that. So I really hope it's based on technology and not evolution. But it's entirely possible that it's based on evolution. So we just got to watch out for that. But I'm definitely going to keep going with this series, but there's another part of me that kind of wants to start another series, just like just to play the game without the big overhaul mods and finish the game normally, but trying to do 2 series at once, at least right now, that's kind of tough. So anyway, we're making more greenhouses because in order to do our science production, I start working on the science production, and I don't realize, but you guys have probably caught it if you've been watching the alerts in the bottom right corner, that constantly throughout this whole time, things have been attacking our coal ore patch up there. So it's something to keep in mind. And if I were to start this world again, another thing, guys, if you play this mod pack, is definitely you need to turn the expansion down a lot, because the expansion is really what's getting us. It's not as much the evolution that's affecting us right now as it is just the expansion of bases coming into our territory, because they're just jumping huge gaps. Um, so if you guys decide to play this on your own, definitely turn down the expansion. I mean, unless you want the biters, that's fine. If you want the biters just right at your doorstep the whole time, that's great. Do with it what you will. But if I were to start again, I would definitely turn the expansion down, because it just makes it so hard, especially right now when we haven't even, we probably could have easily, well, not, we can't get military 2 or military 2 yet until we get the logistics tech cards, but we could have gotten to it by handcrafting if we had really tried. But yeah, I wish I would have turned it a little down when we started. Thing is, I think I did turn it down a little bit, but it's still just, it's crazy. But there were, because you see those two bases down in the bottom right of our map when we look on the map that are huge, and they're jumping from those bases basically all the way up to right next to us. So it's just incredible the amount that they can just jump. And you notice it's like every couple of minutes you look down in the bottom and notice that there's another biter nest expanding somewhere in the world. So it's definitely important to check that out, to lower that if you're not ready for that. And I don't know that I was quite ready for it either, but it's too late now, isn't it? So yeah, but I'm just setting up the greenhouses here, getting ready to pipe water into it, whenever we get there. But that's where I'm going to put the greenhouse production at. Just grab some tin plates here to keep in my inventory, grab some lead plates to keep in my inventory, and some more ammo. That because I needed to make an underground pipe. That requires lead. So the original, see, that's another thing I would do if I could restart this world, is to raise the richness and everything on the lead patches, because there's definitely not enough lead here. And that was the last video's title, was no lead, big problem. And it was true. Without lead, you're kind of stuck, because not only can you not make ammunition and gun turrets without a good supply of lead, but at the same time you also cannot make pipes without lead, the beginning pipes. So it's kind of very important to have, and we just don't have very much of it. And it's possible that that could cost us, a lot in the future, where we have to basically run out, find a big patch of lead somewhere, and pipe it all the way back to our base, or not pipe it, but like run a train all the way back to our base somehow, through all the biters. And if that's the case, we will definitely need some kind of protection for that train, which it might not even be a train by then. By that point, we might even have to just be using the trucks still, because we might not have access to trains yet. So we just have to watch out for that. But now I'm hooking up the power for our wood production up here, so it'll start making wood for us, putting it out on this belt. And I realize, oh wait, this isn't powering that, and it still won't power that if I do it this way. So how am I going to do this? So then I just place one pole there. So I could have done a underground belt and probably fixed it, but I didn't bother with it. But you can see on the map, and just a second ago, you could have seen, if you rewind, you could see the exclamation point in the bottom. That means our turret is fighting something, and that was the turret, the laser turret at the coal patch that was fighting something that came up and attacked. So that's definitely a problem. We're getting attacked from up there, and if we'll eventually get up there to find that at the end of the video here. But for now, we're continuing to just work on this factory for science, and oblivious to that fact at the time. I really need to pay more attention to those alerts down in the corners because it's important. But yeah, right now I'm completely oblivious to it, and I don't even realize what's going on. So don't be like me, guys. If you play Factorio, don't be like me. Pay attention to your alerts. But yeah. So we're now looking through what we need for the science packs, and it actually is not a lot to make what we're trying to make, because we just want to make one a second. So that's 60 science per minute, which for a basic, starter base is pretty decent. That'll get us pretty well up to rockets. It might take a little bit of a long time, but 60 science per minute, and that's base game statistics. So I'm not exactly sure if there is a scale up of how much you need for Crastoria for this mod pack, but base game, the science per minute, 40 to 60, even 60 to 100, that's kind of a good starter base amount. And as much as I say that this is a bigger, more expanded base, it is, but it's still very much, for this mod pack, it's very much a starter base. So don't think that this is like anywhere near the end game what it's going to look like, because the amount of stuff that we have to put into this base for it to even be a thing is huge. So yeah, I should actually do that. I should go into that God mode world I made and like copy everything just to show, figure out how many assemblers and everything I have in each of those for each of the stuff, and just give you an overall number of assemblers. And the thing is that I got to a point during that base, because I didn't plan it with Helmont. I just kind of went through and built everything in order of what I needed to get the next part, and it is not quite good enough. So ended up I had to spawn in fluids that I was making because I wasn't making enough. And it even got to the point where, one of the main things, and I'm thinking about looking into see if there's a better oil refinery, because one of the main things I ran into was just not refining oil fast enough. Even with speed modules with like 12 or 13, or it was more like 15 oil refineries from, and I had just set it up on an infinite oil supply because I had accidentally put a landfill over top of the oil patches. But anyway, it was still not enough oil processing, even for anything. Because the problem was, in order for us to do this, we don't use much heavy oil, but there is some stuff on the way to rockets that we do use heavy oil for. But for the most part, we use I'm finally fixing the splitter issues, guys, as you see. But anyway, for the most part, light oil and petroleum gas is used, and there's just not a lot of change in the recipe for the refinery. So yeah, my son's crying here. My wife's got him, but he just went to the doctor today. He's 18 weeks today, but it was his 4-month appointment, and so he went to the doctor today and got some shots, and he's not feeling the best right now. But cleaning up some spilt fuel from a long time ago. Yeah, so I'm just hand crafting a lot of stuff right now. I think I'm doing it so I can, because I was planning on crafting some tech cards to finish. That's what I'm doing, is hand crafting these so I can craft some tech cards for the architecture science that I wanted to do. So yeah. Anyway, just waiting on this thing to craft, and then I'm going to put them in the thing, the assembler. I'm kind of running out of words to say because it's a little bit of a slower video today. But like I said, I'm just trying to build, science packs. Um, Not science. I keep saying science packs because that's what they're called in the game, but in the base game. But they're tech cards. I keep trying to do these tech cards and just coming up with factories for them, but I just don't have the capacity to do it yet. Although we do finally have electric labs, and I found this one. If you've watched the series so far, I found this lab just out in the wild and brought it home. So that's why I placed it down. I didn't craft it, although I probably should change out my labs to electric ones now that I've researched electric labs, but I don't. I leave them as burner labs for now. But the electric labs are much faster. So now I'm going to restock on stuff that I need here. Inserters and transport belts. And I'm also just checking to see are all the belts functioning properly. And because some of this stuff had alien ore on it, and it just clogs up the belts and the boxes and everything, so I want to make sure. But that's where some biters had gotten in the base, and then we killed them, or they got killed. And the belts were built. Or they got killed on the belts. But yeah. So we're just working our way through here, continuing to try and work on this factory. And once again, if you looked in the bottom corner just there for a second ago, you would have seen that we're still getting attacked in that same area up there on our coal patch. So, it's just something that I'm completely oblivious to at the time because I don't know if I've got alert sounds down or something, but I don't think so. It's just that because it does not give an alert sound when the turret is attacking something, it only gives an alert sound when something's destroyed. So I don't notice it. But yeah, I really should. There really should be an alert sound for when the turret is attacking something, and be like beep beep beep. Something's attacking. The turret's attacking a biter or a spitter or something. In this area. But oh well, because a lot of times it just goes by so quick that I don't see it. I'm setting up the mining drills for the science packs, the tech cards. Science pack. It's tech cards. I'm just gonna keep calling them that. But I'm setting up the miners here for the tech cards. About to say it again. So that all the amount that we need just for the up to logistics tech cards, to make one per minute or 1 per second of each. So that way, I can go ahead and get those done. And still, lead is going to be a huge problem, but we haven't run into that yet, so we're just going to keep on going the way we've been going. And I really hope that we have enough lead to get us to rockets, but I doubt it. But we're going to try. Especially because right now lead is our only form of defense, because it makes bullets. So yeah, until we get this set up for the tech cards, we're kind of stuck with just using lead bullets, and it's going to be tough if we run out of lead, because then we've got to run all the way up to that small patch to set up some bullets, and it's just going to be like crazy, because you see the amount of lead of miners that I have to put on the lead because we need so much of it compared to the amount that I put on the other ores, right? If you were paying attention, I only put 4 on each of the other ones, but the lead we needed 8, so we needed double the amount of miners, which means we need, not double, but close to double of the amount of ore mined of each of the other ones, compared to each of the other ores. But I'm now just looking around because there's a lot of attacks going on down here. I think they all come from down here, but they're not. But there is actually a base that spawned up here, so we're going to go ahead and take care of it just like we always do, because there's still tons of... they just start spawning, and this is what I'm talking about with the expansion. If I were to do it again, turn the expansion down, because they just continuously expand to this area and attack us non-stop. So, you know, definitely, like I said, if you're doing this on your own, turn the expansion down because it's not fun when they just show up on your doorstep attacking you the whole time. So at this point, I've got 100 ammunition, and I think, hey, it's a smart idea to come down here and attack the big bases. It really is not, but for some reason I think it is, so I go ahead and do that. And you can see I'm doing okay right now, um, but I continue to go even further down and then realize I'm going to run out of ammo. So, yeah, you can watch here. There's these two big bases that are the main issues. So I'm like, hey, let me do this. And then all these people, all these biters and spitters just swarm me. I'm like, I can't. Uh, I'm going to just try and get what I can, but I'm running out of ammo quick. And so I've been trying to, once I get to about 20-ish ammo, I try to run away. So you can see I'm about to try and do that, but I'm getting attacked by so many things I just can't do it. So I I still go and fight. I don't realize it. I just ran out of ammo. So now I'm running. Um, keeping biters on my tail. I actually had to craft ammo in order to fight these things, and I'm still going back in for more. Dumb old me. I'm like, I'm crafting ammo, it'll be okay. And then I go back in and yeah, just get it handed to me once again because I'm not prepared, you know, because I still think I've got enough ammo. I don't have enough ammo. I don't know where I get the idea that I've got enough ammo to do this. Um, so yeah, I run away now finally because I did actually see this time that I was running out of ammo, and I get in the car and I run because I'm like, okay, the base has not got a lot of, I'm halfway done taking it down, and I just got destroy 100 trees by running into them with my car. So I'm like, okay, let me go get some more ammo, and then I'll go back and take care of it. So I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's go back and take care of the rest of this base. And then, of course, on the way, here comes another wave of fighters coming to attack me. And I'm like, okay, they're going to come from down here. And then I look on the map because they're attacking the base, and I'm like, wait a second. This stuff is being destroyed. It's the coal ore field. And I'm like, what? Why are they attacking there? Because I didn't realize it. And I drive straight into the stinking goop that slows down the car. And so things are continuing to be destroyed more and more as I'm trying to get up here. Finally, I get up here. I'm like, oh, there's a base right here next to the stinking coal that I didn't know about. And nothing told me about because, of course, I don't have sentinels. I don't have radar. I don't have anything doing that. And there's things still attacking things. The balancer on the wood got destroyed, But all these biters and stuff that just are spawning up here. This coal is it's not our power source, but it provides for all of our smelting stuff. So without it, we're kind of stuck. And you can see I'm getting attacked not only, and there goes another worm right there. You see that? Another worm is about to expand right there. And I'm actually having to use my med packs here because, see, well, it was a base. But anyways, that goop means that something's about to expand there, so I had to destroy it. And you can see, if we walk up here, you can see these bases up here just crazy have just spawned up here attacking us, continuing to attack us. And so I don't have the ammo to deal with that right now, so that has to wait until later. But I think we're actually getting close to the end of the video here. It's hard to tell. But I'm going to go ahead and rebuild this area. And, I try to use the bots, but I don't have any mining drills on me, so I have to go down and get some. But they rebuild the power poles and such for us. It's just crazy. We did finally manage to research Architecture 1, so we can finally build some factory buildings now and build factories inside of them instead of having to just have them out in the open. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing for us, is if we can build our factories within factory buildings, all we have to do is protect the ore miners and protect the buildings, and then we're fine, right? So that's what we're going to try and do, I think, in the future here, is to build just factory buildings and ore miners, and just continuously build smaller, smaller designs as much as we can. I think it'll help us out a lot. So, um, because big expanded bases like this with rampant mod is really bad for us, because they can attack us from almost anywhere and they go for the weakest point, right? So anyway, I think once we get up here to fix the coal, that kind of is the end of the video. So yeah, it is. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna leave it off here, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, comment, like, do all those things. Hit the bell. Just walling up the coal here and putting another turret in, I think, or maybe leaving it that way. But anyway, I'll catch you next time. This is me signing off, and I've been producing videos. Thanks for watching.